forever free of greed, anger, and ignorance, is saying that the three kinds of affliction of views and thoughts, affliction of dust and sand, and affliction of ignorance, are completely eradicated. This is the state of Tathagata at the attainment stage. The words, with the power of samadhi and all delusions and faults, are saying that one is no longer deluded about anything in this world and beyond. Whether cultivating, teaching, interacting with people, or engaging in tasks, one will definitely not commit wrongdoings. How does one achieve this? With the power of samadhi. Samadhi used here refers to the Buddha name chanting samadhi. The last few sentences, starting from "May my wisdom be as vast and as deep as the sea," were Amitabha Buddha's guidelines for learning and practice when he was at the causal stage. Compare our practice to that of Amitabha Buddha at the causal stage. Do we also seek wisdom as our ultimate goal and seek nothing else? If one seeks wisdom, one must achieve a pure mind. When one has a pure mind, wisdom manifests. A pure mind is like a mirror. Its function is to see everything clearly in its reflection. This, seeing everything clearly, is having wisdom. If one wants to have a pure mind, one's mind must not be contaminated even in the slightest way by mundane teachings, the 5 desires, and the 6 dusts, or by supramundane teachings, that is, Mahayana, Theravada, true teachings, or provisional teachings. This is very important. One must try to have a mind of the utmost purity and speech and behavior of the utmost virtuousness. There are 2 approaches in learning Buddhism. The first is practice. Here one starts with cultivating a pure mind. The other is understanding. Here one studies the teachings. Which approach is more advantageous? Practice. As long as one has a pure mind, it does not matter that one has no knowledge of Buddhism. If one eradicates affliction, then the mind is pure and the Buddha land will also be pure. One will be able to attain rebirth in the Western Pure Land. If one uses the approach of understanding, after one is clear about all the principles, methods, and states, one still needs to practice starting from the basics. One cannot achieve in one's cultivation with only knowledge and no practice. When one uses the approach of practice, one mainly cultivates mindfulness. Understanding of the teachings is supplementary. One need not make painstaking effort to seek understanding. It will come naturally. Practice is the correct approach. If one uses this approach, whether one reads the sutras or listens to lectures, one will benefit from each particular sentence that one understands. If one does not understand a sentence, it does not matter, as one will understand it when one listens to the lectures again. One will naturally understand after listening to lectures a few times. One need not get stuck on a sentence or a paragraph, otherwise one's mind will become disturbed. In the title of this sutra are the words purity, impartiality, and enlightenment. These 3 are 1 in 3 and 3 in 1. When we attain 1, we attain all 3. Of the 3, cultivating a pure mind is the easiest. The way to cultivate a pure mind is to mindfully chant the Buddha name. When we are not chanting the Buddha name, we should listen to the chanting of the Buddha name. It is best if we can listen to our own chanting. So we could record our chanting, and when we are not chanting, listen to this recording. This is very effective. This is cultivating a pure mind. In the part of the excerpt that talks about Dharmakara Bhikshu's practice for his own enlightenment, Dharmakara Bhikshu put wisdom as his first priority and the result of his practice is this. With the power of samadhi, he ended all delusions and faults. This samadhi places equal emphasis on both meditative concentration and wisdom. The purpose of Dharmakara practicing this way is tremendously profound. It truly provides a very valuable reference for our learning practice.